Can everyone see the screen? I assume yes. Awesome. So it's just a quick intro. If you haven't seen it yet, this explains what is project control. If you know that, and as we work out through our drawings, a lot of time we need a single XRef, basically that we use to create that put those tiles on model space. We start XREFing it in. Like we want an existing condition to read exactly the location of demolition, exactly as layout, as grading, especially on large projects. And then what we end up doing is creating that master XREF and then start building those sheets from it. We build first one, then we build down the road the rest, copy pasting. But when we edit something, we have to go back to each single one and do those. Also, one thing that we've also struggle with is when we have a larger sets. Let's say we have 30 or 50 or 10 layouts and the files get really slow. So we want to break those files. And then we end up doing the sheet set manager connection to the match lines. If things change, you have to go back and chase it when we're doing all the manual match lines. And if we're doing key maps, also these are become manual and quite a bit of time hectic. And then it's just like almost non-stop running around. So what we're showing today is it's our newest engine today. It's Project Control has been out for about almost 2 weeks, give or take. And what you guys have, if you have the program, is simply a slightly older version. You're going to see one thing different. So how we launch the program, if you're first time joining us, after downloading, we're on the ribbon now. Pressing Sheet Agent is going to open our palette. Going to project control, which is our focus for today. We're going to go through single viewport. A few things that we've added in the last one is how to set up a title block that's not imported, but from a layout. So simply we're going to select the layout and that's going to preset it. If you have a template, this is how the template works. So there's no more XREFing in and out. Again, you can always do the other one. We're going to simply configure the attributes here, the north arrow, and our scale bar. So we have stuff going on. So in model space, we're gonna basically do, we need to set the primary viewport, of course, which I had forgot. So setting up the primary viewport, which is the automatic controller for the program in general, that tells the program, hey, this is the area that you can put viewports in. Please leave the rest for later. And that's how the program recognizes it. And now we have it, everything is green. Now we're ready to preview. We're going to do an array. I preset my work limit. Again, you can draw any limit. You can do it squares, rectangle. We're going to go to a 10 scale here. And then a few things that we've added also in the previous version is how do you want the numbering to be? You want them up, down, top, right, snake, rosy, regardless. So now we did that preview background. You can always delete. You can add if you want to add more. I think for now it's pretty decent, at least to start. And this is where old project control or how we used to do it manually worked. We create this file, we're happy with it. Now we XREF it and we start building those viewports from. So we're going to do the same. Instead, we're going to assign our disciplines. It's going to ask you, what do you want the suffix? This is anything after your name. So we're going to use 101 just for an example. And I'm going to set it to 7 sheets per file because I have 14. I'm going to do half for now. I'm going to capitalize. I'm going to add those in. So existing conditions and just the boring things, exe, C1, and you can see it's going to start filling up the will number at the end. We're going to do demo, and then demo needs C2. We're going to do layouts, for example. We're going to do those fast, C3, and then we're going to do grading, and I'm going to change it to grad. If you don't give it a name, it's going to default to the discipline, and if you ever forget, just scroll over the name, it's going to tell you how it works, and then C4. So now we have a decent number of sheets, and it's going to give you a breakdown where your tiles are going to belong to. It already divided them into 2 files. It's going to give you C1, C2, C3, C4. And then accept and publish is going to do some change in color just so it guides you, or you can visually see it straight without trying to find them. Now we've defined this. Next is building our sheets. So you're going to see it here. I'm just going to list everything we defined. We're going to create an SSM. So we're going to call it here, I don't know, presentation. I don't know how to type today, presentation, and save. So that's going to create our sheet set manager. You want to change if your companies use specific names, you can have a custom pattern. There is stuff that are pre-made. For example, I'd like to see my name and the sheet range. I like a discipline index. Yes, please. This is our cover for each. And since we used 101, I'm going to use 100 here. Where you want your backup, you can have it by folder or you can have it by files. Again, this is where if you want to do a major change and you want to back it up, the program will offer to automatically back up. If you want to publish, for this session, we're not going to publish, and I like to print the borders just because I like to. And I'm gonna show you where's our files just so you see it being built live. So this is currently what we have. We're in single, and this is our single. There's nothing in this file currently. So we're gonna minimize and we're gonna select the first one as if we're working it manually, and then we're gonna simply press build. And what happened is just it cut our sheets already. So you can see that we have EXCs and index. So, and it added it to the sheet set manager. So if we come here and open our SSM, which is presentation that just created, it already pre-filled them up. If we open any of them to see what happened, did it really build them? It actually did. It's EXC, and this is C1 103, 4 out of 15. This is our sheets. These are the match lines. This is our what's called scale bar, north arrow, etc. Can you add stuff here? Of course, as usual, you can come in into each discipline. We can add, for example, the legend, and we're gonna put it here. We're gonna go to model space, preview it, put it wherever we want, then move it down. And as usual, the program will follow through. And again, if you're new for this, this is all part of the engine that's been running for about 4.5 months now, maybe 5 months. And now we have legends on everything. And then we're good, right? So we save it, and then you can close or you can keep it open. And then when we come back to single, if we're happy at this stage, it's great. If we're not, and I don't know, we can add a key map, for example, and we can do here the usual. The buttons have not changed at all. It's the same. You set the key map area, and then you're gonna do a key plan, and then we're gonna simply come here. It's gonna tell you it's critical because this needs update. You've changed something, everything is off here. Simply press update. This is where you're gonna start seeing the backup. Do you wanna really back them up? Yes or no? If you don't wanna back up, you can simply press no. And then this is the engine that everyone has currently, which we change only the current build. We can build offline now, which you've seen it. It takes a second to cut sheets. And then the updates are basically still using the open and close function. It's a lot of coding to build offline, but it's still pretty fast compared to doing it manually. It took us 25 seconds. It's gonna vary a lot per machine. It's gonna vary a lot for how heavy your drawings are gonna become as you start adding XRefs, you start adding more viewports to it. It might slow down, but it's still faster than manual open and close. So if we check what did it do in those 30 seconds, if I can speak properly, or is this? So if we open, first I like to always refresh it, but just in case. And then if we go to a drawing that we have, it's basically added our key maps here on each drawing with each name. And then this is just an example of how our program is currently working. If you want to retile, you can. And retiling means, for folks who have not used the program before, retiling means you change how things work. Like we've seen the legend is too close to the viewport, and you want to shift this, let's say, by an inch, just a little nudge smaller. And we don't want to go in, I'm using the wrong file. We want to nudge this slightly, let's say an inch off. And then we're gonna simply retile. And it's gonna go through the notion where it's gonna redraw our sheets. And again, I don't want this one, it's going outside. And it's gonna tell you, hey, you've changed stuff, please update. So to update them, you're gonna come in, you're gonna assign disciplines. We have now 14, we have 7, so it's all good. Again, it's gonna adjust the color. You've seen a blue, so if you have a third set of drawing, that's what it's gonna generate it in blue color. And now back to it again. We come in, we press update, and uh, it's gonna go from here again, back up. Yes, no, no. It's gonna start building. It's a retile, so it's gonna go in and change those manually, and you can start seeing it on the screen. It's shrinking those viewports. It's gonna make sure everything is still in sync. It's gonna go through your key maps, update those key maps as it's going from one file to another. If your files are really big, you might want to just go grab a quick coffee or check an email, and then by the time it's gonna be done, there is always an approximation of time up on the banner. The more you run it on the files, the more it's gonna learn the timing needed, and it's gonna be pretty accurate. So it took us 35 seconds basically to regenerate those new cuts. Let's say we're happy with it, and then we want to build the rest. Again, this is what's currently created. We have these two files broken down, named, and then we have our index, which is our cover page. And then let's create the rest. It tells you these are not built. Let's build those. So what's gonna build? It's from your current status. So you've adjusted your title block, you've adjusted your new tiles, you're happy with it. That's why I usually spend my time on the first one, as if we're doing manually. Then I'm happy, I'll apply it to the rest because it's very, very fast. So now we're building, I don't know, 3 times 2, that's 6, plus 3, that's 9 files. So it's faster than me talking, to be honest. So it took 5 seconds to build those. And basically you can see it now. We have demo, we have grading, and we have layout, all cut and already added to our SSM. This is open.
Rami,
Yes.
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So you created all these different disciplines
Mhm.
and they're all set to, I think you did 10 scale. Are you able to do different scales for different disciplines or not yet?
Well, then you don't need, well, yes, but each project control a set of disciplines, and I'll show it in multiple viewport, for example. Let's say you want you have a big project and you want only a discipline on 40 and you want to use this to break your files. So you create those 40 scales, and then you tell it, hey, create only a one discipline, which I'll show it in multiple viewport. And then you can keep adding project controls as much as you want. You can use it to break the files, or you can use it to create multi-discipline connection. It's your call. So anytime you're sharing scale, sharing location, it's better to have them in one. If you are different scales, different uh, like we'll show it, and you will see it directly when we show in plan and profile, for example. They don't need to be on the same as this one. So they will have their own, and they're all gonna build toward the same sheet set manager that keeps everything in line, more or less. So we build those, and then let's see what happened in grading file, for example. So you've seen, I have the gray line in the back just so it shows you the difference. We have our match lines here, the hatches, and of course it's named it as grading, and now the counter is 55 of 260 because that's the files we have. Now to answer Ian's question, I want to also add plan and profile for the same project. So what should I do? So I've already set this one up just so we save us time from setting the title block. I have a title block that's set. I have a viewport that's already set. I have my, I need to move this one because it's on top of the off. My attributes, north arrow, etc. So Next is what? It's same as the regular builds when we do singular files. Now we're gonna come here and we're gonna do plan and profile, and then we're gonna select the profiles that we would like to see. And I'm gonna do it number 2 for this one. If you haven't opened the program for a while now, it can learn your own style, or you can define it. For this one, I wanted to learn. This alignment coverage is basically how much width you want your plan view to be. Let's say you have a right of way of 60 feet. This is measured perpendicular to the alignment, not along the alignment. This is if you wanted to have a checks or cross checks. If you keep it blank, it's gonna prioritize basically the profile view height, and then whatever is left is gonna give it to you for plan view. And we're working on something down the line where we allow a vertical profile split. It's not ready to be launched, but it's coming soon, hopefully in the next week or two. So previewed it. We have it here now. And then can we add more? Yes. Let's add the second street. Similarly, here it's going to ask you, do you want it learning now? It recognized already, but it has to go through the notion of setting it up. Full, reverse, scales is going to continue with the same scale. It's going to give you the warning because you have now two heights of viewports. And as you can see in the background, you have this profile shorter than the other profile. Therefore, our canvas, which is the template title block, this is not going to be accurate anymore. So you should not look at it much from a visual perspective. If we're happy with what we're seeing here, I don't like this to be extending this much, for example, I will simply shrink it. We can shrink more things now or later. I'm just going to show it now, and then we're going to show it later. I want to show this one slightly different than the other one. I'm going to continue with my 101. I'm going to only do 2 as I don't have a long one. But if you have a longer profiles or longer alignment or a path and you want to break it, this is your choice. We're going to do something called sectors, and you can do sectors for sure in single. Sector for alignment is automatic, or you can sign it here without assigning sectors in the main palette. And I'm gonna renumber it by sector. I like this because I like each alignment to have their own sub numbers. So for alignment, first street, I'm gonna do 101. And for second street, I'm gonna do 201. And I'm gonna add a discipline, which is planned and profile, for example. And then the sheet title, I'm going to do a PMP, so it fits on my title block. And I'm going to do a C5 in here. So what it did, it basically named them based on alignment. So C5 remains C5, 101 took for alignment 1, 2 for alignment 2. This way, if you're looking quickly through big set, you can read it fast. You can always say, I don't want you to change the name, and it's going to continue the numbering. This is preferences and what do you want. This is the match lines here are just approximation, just so you see where you are. You can turn it on and off. It's not going to build using those. It's going to build through our regular engine where it controls those in the actual build. So before we build this, I want to add 2 things to it. I want to add key maps, which is this is the first key map. I'm going to do it by zone, and I'm going to do another key map, and I'm going to do this as a project key plan, which is overall project. This is something that it's also preference, and I built based on my preferences. But something that's pointed to be helpful with others folks building those large sets, especially when you cannot see the entire project. So what I'm doing here is I'm pointing it to the exact same sheet set manager because we'll continue the build. We're not just going to build something new. It's going to take it down. You can see it changed the title range to match the default that we used. So it continued the naming of your project the same. I'm going to turn off the plot, and I'm going to, the suffix also get filled properly. Again, it has like a smart thing that reads what you've done before. So it reduce errors. And same, we're going to do build here. And it's building them in the backgrounds, which is what we call it, the offline engine. 5 seconds, it tells you that, hey, these are the sheets I found. I have not touched them. I'm going to keep them in place. And if we look at what it built, so sheet set, I don't know why it's defaulting to this one. I want my presentation one. Okay, so the plan profiles are here now. If we open, let's open this one. I don't know, just any, to be honest. And you can see we have now two key maps. You have the planar profile, we have the match line. This is because I shrank it. It shrank it with us. This is the by alignment or sector. So this is the key map for sector, and this is the key map for overall, where it zooms out to showcase your entire project. You can label now from project control as well. So if we don't want, we can save it. You can be in multi-PC and you can label them. We have not activated the pick yet, but if you're doing something quick and you want to plan VP it, the pick is off because it's quite a bit of coding with cloning. So we will eventually figure it out how to do it. So currently it's our default and it's running in the background again. We have plan and profile. Let's do include station range, inline. It doesn't matter. And then here too. And then now again, if we open it up, it's gonna show us a labeled planner profile, VP labeled, which also save time if you're running quickly, especially if you're like sending something to the client and you don't want to come into each file and add those, it will be it. This is just a general thing of what project control can do, very quick, as you can see, and pretty efficient in your work. You can add, you can delete, you can add sectors at any time you want. You can flip them. Like I have a two recording currently on YouTube that explain how you add the sectors post build, etc. And yeah, that's a summary of the this new tool or the new feature that we've added. And we'll open it for questions.
For the title block, is that something that you can pick which
Yeah,
title block you want to use?
yeah,
And you'll just
absolutely.
input that. Okay.
Yeah, so there is, so for example, we'll open an empty drawing here where this is my it opens as an automatic
Mm-hmm.
template, but we can delete this if we are in, we get the XRef from our,
Yeah.
and then whichever, let's do this one, for example, and then you can come in and pick any title block you need. And what it does
I
is
see.
basically it's gonna import it as an XRef, and then you do the regular page setup, you set those up, and then now you have an empty title block. And what
Mm.
it did here, it's basically, where's my XRef? It just brought it as an XRef and it locks it in place. So it's just our regular how we build those because we not always start from our own. We typically get uh,
Right.
XRef or title blocks from someone else.
Mhm. When you are setting up the sheets, I noticed that for the grading, like the sheets that you set up initially, since there were a lot of sheets, was there an input where you chose to have two different files for like the seven sheets that you had set up? Could you
Yeah,
theoretically have them all under one
you
file,
can.
or
Yeah,
does,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so when you assign the discipline, there is the sheets per file, and
Oh, okay.
the sheet count is the previewed how many tiles you basically have. So each tile in this case is a one file because a single for plan and profile it is one per for plan and plan every two is a file, but it tells you, it explains it to you like how many you are going to each file. So in this one, we've set it to be seven just so we don't build a big one. But if you want to build big
Okay.
one, you can do it here and set this up to 14 tiles, and it's
Hmm.
gonna
Okay.
have them in a single file.
Hmm.
We just try to break it. There is few things that as we start coding this and diving into CAD, uh, apparently the ideal number of viewports per file is 64. Above 64, your file starts slowing down. Like you will start lagging, you will start, when you plot, it takes quite a bit because it's rendering each viewport by viewport. And viewport can be your plan viewport, your legend viewport, your key maps, whatever you add, that's a viewport. And those numbers grow fast. And like if you have 3 of them or 4 of them, then now you're limited with like 15 layouts per. If you have a really heavy XRefs, you want them to be like 7 or 8. And we usually like not to break them too much because it's so much work. But with this, you can make it as fast as you want. You can make it 1 sheet per file. It's gonna be notorious, but you can do it 1 by file. It follows your rules. It follows what you want. And if it's slowing down, you'll be like, this is too slow. I want it to be 5. And then you come here, you change it, and it's gonna basically go into each file, take those sheets from it, clean them up, add the files that you need, and keeps those in sync and then sync them all to SSM as usual, just so you have a place where everything is controlled.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Hey, Rami. I just realized that I was in the second Rami, but I changed my name now. Hi, Piper. Good to see you. What about layer control in here? Do you control that through project control? Like,
Not yet. It's coming, actually.
Okay.
This is a great question. Currently, the layer control is most layer controlling happen in disciplines themselves. Like most of the work happen in model space. What we're gonna bring in, because now we're able to really dive into those offline modes and really crack that approach, we will offer basically 2 new features. That one is model space sync, which will allow you to apply those layers to your rest of the disciplines. Let's say you have, or you have 4 files of grading. You clean one and you ask it to apply it, and it's gonna apply it to all. And that's also gonna apply to the plan view, which already active, but it's not active across your discipline. So for example, if we're here and we need to freeze something, you can freeze it in paper space, because model space we want to keep that control. So I freeze the numbers, and I'm gonna freeze the lot lines here. And then if you come down, there is apply layer viewports. So basically, if you select that viewport, and it's gonna tell you, I found that your source is 108, you wanna apply it to the rest, and simply play it yes, it's gonna go in and freeze those. So we're gonna do something similar where the program will realize that you are in a project control set, and then it tells you, do you want to apply the same for the rest of your sub-disciplines? So this way you clean one file and you ask the program to clean the rest, so they remain more or less in sync. And we can do that fairly easy with now the offline mode. You don't have to have it open. And if you have it open, it's going to simply switch to it and clean it up. And if your friend has it open, which is very common in large companies, it's going to tell you, hey, I cannot do it because I don't want to corrupt the data because someone has it open. It's going to attempt to tell you who's the name, if who has work in CAD. And then basically it's not going to do it unless its file is closed or you personally have it open, just so we don't corrupt data across the company.
And when you say offline mode, what's the other mode?
You missed the initial builds.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. Let's show it to you. So let's add, so we're here. Let's assign a discipline just so we show Katya, and then we're gonna be here, and then let's call this discipline Katya. And let's give it a C7 number so we don't have clash. And we're gonna do something called an offline build, where we're gonna build a Katya set. So what the program is currently doing, it's building those files, which is done. It cut those sheets, and it is now in our folder, which we can see as Katya, C7, Katya, and Katya's index. If we open those files, those sheets are already cut with a name as Katya. So you have those in. If you see something missing, simply press update sheets, and it's gonna just make sure it's self-healing all the time. If someone went into the drawing, changed something, you come in later, you're like, something is missing, just press update, and then it self-heal and clean it up for itself.
For the project control, it looked like when it was creating the files, it was saving the files locally on the computer. Is that what was
No,
happening?
because that's my example. It's running on the file. No, it runs whatever you want.
Okay, so since like for
Yeah,
sure
if you're working on servers, you're saving on servers. It's just faster to showcase it when we're running local
yeah.
instead of. But I've run a big one, which I have a project I'm wrapping up now, where we did a single alignment, where I needed just a single viewport. So I used a single viewport based on an alignment, and it's working on my servers, and it just went, I think, like maybe 5 seconds slower. Uh, Again, the slowness is not writing. The slowness is, which realized it in a while, is when you're opening those files, the graphic is really slow. As far as we're not really generating the graphics, the writing is simply code. All it's doing is modifying the file by coding it without opening it, and that's it. That's all it's doing. If I can simplify it, that's the max I can simplify it.
Okay.
And if you make any edits to the viewport size in that single PC file, I'm
It's
not sure if that's what it's always called. You can update it always.
So currently, if it's project control, it's going to tell you that the layouts are managed by project control. If you click on it, it's locked. If you come to this, it's also telling you that the viewport is managed by project control. So you cannot touch it. If you want to touch it, you can, but then it breaks the connection to the main project control. You can always
You
override.
just have to
Yeah, if you press update in project control, it's gonna bring it back
update
to
it.
life.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it has these control over its own. If you want to really disassociate them from project control, you can.
Okay.
And it's gonna tell you, hey, this is disassociated. You want to, but then what's the point of?
Yeah, I think the question for me, or the scenario for me, is if something changes in the viewports like later down the line of the project design and we want to change something or change the view, then you can do that very easily, it seems like.
Absolutely, yeah. You can do it either in the projects, but if you want to keep them all sync, you can do it from project control, and then all of them gets the same exact update with the match lines, with the exact locations, and the key maps also update with them.
Oh, really?
Because if they shrink or they grow, now your key maps are shrinking and growing too. I should have slowed down when I did the retile, but when you did the retile, these shrank. They're slightly smaller now. So the key map engine go in and update those in the backgrounds, as well as your index, your cover page that shows those files also is updated with the new layouts location. Like we can move one. We have a little bit of time. We can move one, for example. Let's move it here. And then okay, I need to assign it again just so this is important because it needs to know that it needs to do something called data stamping on its own in order to recognize that this style moved, and that's how it understand what's working. And then when we come here, let's update, for example, demo, since it's not open and it's faster to do it. No. And then it's gonna open it and you're gonna see it. It's gonna start shifting things around the files because, like you can see it down here, the tile is moving. But because we have key map, all the files must update in order to keep them in sync. It's fairly quick. If you have a big set, yes, it might take like 15 minutes to go over 100 layouts. But these are very small. We're running local, not on a server. If you're going on a remote work, it might be slower. If you're doing on a VPN, just the data transfer is slower. And our way to save time is to work on the offline updates too, which is an entire new engine that we're trying to build. Now it's limited to just the initial builds. And then as we expand down the line, we will figure it out how to do it also on the updates, where it's going to update offline without opening and closing, which reduce also more time.
It's very helpful. Thank you.
It's cool. Nice tool.
Very cool.
Definitely a learning curve for sure. So I think we just need to, or at least for me, at least, I just need to use it continuously and kind of learn all the nuances of it.
Mm-hmm. And we keep working on this assistant of us. So currently you have two ways of help. So you can come here and you can press F1, and then basically it's going to send you to the guide that we put, and we keep expanding this guide. If, for example, if you are in project control and you want to learn about project control, this is basically an online helper that tells you how to start the project control, what do you want to select, how you set the title blocks, etc. You can always close and switch to a different, like this is how you set key maps. Because we understand that new programs are usually scary to start with because we don't know where to start. So we build this one too. The other way to get to the same file is you can press Assistant, and it's also here. It's called Watch the Walkthrough. I can change this name to Access Walkthrough. And again, it's going to open the same file, which is here. Then you can access it. It's loading, and I crashed it when I moved it from one screen to another. And then you can always chat. It's like, what is project control, for example? And then it will explain to you opening sheet agent video. Oh, sorry, it's mixing things up now. Where is this one? Here it goes. So this is a brand new drawing. We don't know what's happening. So if you type it right without my mistakes, basically it explains to you what it is. Oh, I thought I got disconnected, sorry. And then, okay, help me set it up. So you press set up project control. It tells you, please save your drawing because it needs your base. And then it start step 1, step 2, step 3, and then it helps you go through it. If you don't want to watch the videos or read the walkthrough, you can ask the assistant. The assistant is not going to code. The assistant is not going to answer you crazy questions about AutoCAD. It's only designed to answer questions about its own engine. And this is local. This is not running through the internet at all. But yeah, that's coming. Also, question if folks are interested in is we're trying to gauge if you want us to include XRef engine. There is an XRef currently in Autodesk. If you're familiar with it, it's an app called Autodesk XRef Manager, where you can manage your XREFs offline. It's quite a bit complicated to use. Unless you really know how to use it, then it becomes pretty easy. If you go to the Start button and you type Reference Manager, it's going to open this. But since we can do it also from project control, if the interest is there, we can always add that. So basically, you create a light project control with minimal XREFs, and then you can control your additional XREFs from project control, where you add, for example, your C-site or your, I don't know, the labeling XREFs, etc., where all they come together in one place without the need to like go into each discipline by discipline. I don't know if I know like folks use, or at least some of the folks I talk to use quite a bit that XREF manager and they're comfortable with, but if you want, you can always add it. We've built an engine internally and we can always push it out.
I personally have never used the XRef Manager, but I do think that something like that would be helpful.
Complicated. It's really hard to learn it, but once you learn it, it becomes like more or less easy. Well, thank you all. Really appreciate joining and supporting my spiel. And until the next one, if you guys are interested in trial or you have questions, as always, just reach out and we'll answer all your questions. And
Thank
this
you, Rami.
version, we will be pushing it likely either today or tomorrow, where you will have the offline build. The current version has the opening and closing for everything, which is a little slower, but slower is like under 10 minutes versus instant, and that will be pushed next.
Did everybody else get 3 meeting invites? That was a little
No, only
confusing.
you.
Oh, okay. You really wanted to make sure, right?
Yes, that you make it fixed.
Yeah, okay.
I think
Fair
Jacob
enough.
got also 3, but otherwise, yes.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you, Rami. That was super cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks, Rami.
thank you for joining, and have fun.
All right.
Soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.